Hello, everyone, and welcome to your favorite podcast program, The Growth Code podcast, brought to you by Fash Media Concept. My name is Fashmo Michael, and I'm going to be your host as usual. And for those of you that are just watching our podcast for the first time, on this podcast, we share helpful information that can help you gain quantum growth in all you do. And we do that by bringing experts, by bringing professionals, by bringing those that are walking the talk to come and share first their experience, to come and share their unique story, and to come and tell us how they were able to crack the code to gain appreciable success in their respective fields. And today is not going to be an exception. I have with me in the studio today a very vibrant change maker making global impact from our corner. I have the privilege of meeting her while I was in the north, and ever since I met her for the first time, she has been an agent of positive change. Who is she, and what exactly does she do for humanity? I'm going to be revealing that right about now. So today I have with me in the studio Ruth Ejindu Isioma. She is a change maker, like I mentioned. She is also a community manager as well as a social media manager, and above all, she's an author. She's the one that wrote that classic book, NYSC Advantage, not just a passing year. In this conversation today, we're going to be unpacking a lot of things that can help you to gain growth, to gain clarity in all that you do. Ruth, we're excited to have you join us today. Good morning, and thank you for doing this with us. Yes, Ruth, if you can hear us, we are glad to have you today.
Good morning, Mr. Michael. Thank you for having me. I look
Okay,
forward to our impactful conversation today.
all right. So, first, we would like you to tell us more of what you do. For those that are meeting you for the first time, I've done that introduction, however, but I still want you to add to it. In 1 minute, who is Ruth Ejindu?
All right, thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here. I'm so excited to be featured on your podcast. I am Aging the Roots Isioma, a social media and community manager who is devoted in helping brands show up, not just showing up, but showing up meaningfully and also building an engaged and thriving community. I'm also passionate about humanitarian services and personal development. This passion made me the best
Yeah.
made me receive the award of the best personal score member, which inspired my book, not just the passing year. And so I love using my work and words to inspire growth and impact.
Yeah. Yeah. Fantastic, fantastic. That is great. So let's start from the very beginning. I would like you to please kindly walk us through what exactly inspired you into social media and community management. Briefly, tell us about that.
All right, nice question. Thank you so much. After my 3 weeks at the NYSC orientation camp, I traveled home for a short break. During that time, I intentionally wrote out my goals for the service year. I did not want to take chances
Yeah.
during the service year. And so I outlined my goals, which cut across every other sector, not just career,
Mm.
about personal development, my financial growth, spiritual, social growth. And so
Mm.
under my personal development,
Yeah.
one of the goals was something that could earn me money before
Mm.
landing a white collar job and
Mm.
still serve as a side hustle
Yeah.
even when the bigger opportunities came.
Yeah.
And so while doing my research, I began to draw inspiration from my senior friend, Esther
Mm,
Elesami, who is a media professional in the city of Abuja. I
mm,
joined one of her programs called the Growth and Accountability Hub. Yes, the Growth and Accountability Hub, which really stretched me. But then it taught me to grow and stay accountable. At some point, she needed some persons to help volunteer with the Facebook page of the group.
mm.
So I, alongside my friend from Ghana, volunteered, and
Wow.
we had an amazing experience. That
Wow.
experience opened my eyes to the world of
Mm,
social media management. I
mm,
was so inspired by her journey that when
mm.
she later organized a training for beginners on social media management, I was
Yeah.
privileged to join, like, I mean, for
Mm.
free
Wow.
because of my volunteer role in her
Yeah.
last program.
Program. Yeah.
And so, looking back, that experience taught me something powerful.
Yeah. I
When
was gonna ask
you
that.
when you show up with genuine interests, like you serve selflessly and volunteer, you're not just helping, you are building capacity, credibility, and even attracting opportunity. So that was how my journey into social media and community management began. I started by managing my own personal brand before I even got my own personal pages before I even got my first clients.
That's quite amazing. You see, I love the fact that you put your best foot forward by volunteering, and with that, you are able to gain massive experience, which you also attest to the fact that it is what actually launch is. It's like a launch pad. So for you now, volunteering is like a launch pad to actually putting you into where you are right now. I love that part so well. So I also want us to think about the major focus of our discourse for today, which is rethinking success in digital economy. You agree with me that we are an economy that is mostly driven by creatives. So for you, what does success mean in this digital age? Ruth Ejindo, what does success means to you in this digital age?
Okay, for me, success
Mm,
in today's digital age goes beyond numbers. It goes
mm,
beyond likes and followers, as
mm,
a lot of young persons would think.
yeah,
It's for me, it's the ability to create value, build trust, and stay
mm,
authentic. Even
yeah,
when the algorithm isn't in your favor, like even when no
mm,
one is applauding you. You
yeah,
see, when I started my journey as a social media manager, I had no large following.
mm,
did not even have a brand backup. It was just the desire to learn, to grow, and to help brand owners show up meaningfully.
mm,
And over time, I realized that true success comes when your work starts speaking for you. Yes,
mm,
when people can feel your impact even when you're
mm,
not in the room.
mm,
And so I would say success is when your creativity aligns with your purpose and together
mm,
produce real value beyond
mm,
attention.
mm. Amazing. That's a very amazing one. Thank you for putting that in proper perspective because like you rightly point out, we live in a world that people are moved by clicks and like and whatnot. So I like the fact that you're able to, make it explicitly clear that it's when people begin to feel your impact, when your work starts speaking for you, when you're not there. That is when you actually know that what you're doing, you're successful in it. Thank you so much for that. So all right. So let's look at showing up meaningfully online. you partly talk about it while you are responding to. So, at what point in your career did you started showing up online meaningfully?
Okay, thank you so much for that question. I think that moment came when people started recommending my work, sending me opportunities I didn't even apply for. Yes, it actually made me it actually made me realize people are watching. People are finding value in what I was doing. Many times I make posts about my brand and I see a lot of persons or creators reach out to me, ask questions relating to social media and community management, or even seeking guidance. And so it clicked that people are actually watching, and showing up meaningfully online goes beyond posting. Like, it's about building trust. So that experience taught me to show up with value and consistency. With that visibility, you don't chase visibility, you attract the right attention when you show up meaningfully.
Dropping valuable gem for us that there's a need for you to show up meaningfully and purposely. So thank you so much for that. Now, my next question for you is this: you see, we live in a world where people feel pressure. Where people feel intimidated with the success of others. So my question to you now is that how do you stay true to your purpose as a person? And once you must have answered that, I would also like you to give helpful tips that can also help others to stay meaningful to their purpose, not just being pressurized because someone is doing this. I think I can also do that. Because at the end of the day, you realize that people that are driven by pressure of others, sometimes they get fizzle out in the thin air. So for you, how are you able to stay consistent on purpose, and what can help others?
Thank you so much. That's such an important question. Yeah, because comparison is one of the biggest traps in the digital space today. Yes, so for me, I would say staying true to your purpose starts with remembering why you began in the first place. Yes, when you're clear about your why, it keeps you grounded, it keeps you going, even when it seems like even when everyone seems to be moving faster. I always tell people your journey is unique. Like, you don't compare your journey with someone else's timeline. They don't define your progress. So focus on your growth, not competition. And most importantly, stay connected to God, because there's something I found out recently. Purpose without divine direction will always lead to pressure. Yes, I'll repeat myself. Purpose without divine direction would always lead to pressure. And so when you align with Him, you find peace in your pace. So, yes, it's not about doing what everyone else is doing, it's about doing what you are called to do and doing it well.
Awesome. That is awesome. Doing what you're called to do and doing it well. That is so awesome. So I'm coming back to your book now, and I want you to clearly express yourself fully about this. First, what inspired you to write that book? Let's start with the inspiration. How do you get the inspiration for that book? Tell us the purpose. Tell us the inspiration behind the book, and yeah, take that one first. Tell us the purpose behind your book.
All right, thank you so much. I would say the purpose behind not just the passing year, the NYC advantage is connected or is related to the first question you asked, what inspired my journey, talking about career wise, it's a bit related. Okay, so what inspired this book was my intention to take advantage of the service year to maximize the service year fully. And so I mentioned earlier that I clearly stated out the goals I wanted to achieve, and it cut across every sector or every area of my life. So one of my goals, I wanted to make impact. As I said during the introduction, like I'm passionate about personal development and humanitarian services. I always want to make impact. I always want to leave a legacy behind whenever I enter any place or environment. And so I also wrote down the goals I wanted to, how I wanted to make impact, or the impact I wanted to make in the lives of people during the service year. And so I decided to follow it closely and achieve them one after the other. And so I was able to provide a clinic or a dispensary for a secondary school. That was one of my major projects. I carried out 5 major NYSC personal development service projects. The first is the provision and equipping of a new clinic for a school, Government College Castina. I also I also reached out to over 200 female students. I carried out sensitization campaign on menstrual hygiene, where I brought professionals, medical professionals, to speak to them about their menstrual health, and also distributed free sanitary towels to the students. In addition, I carried out skill acquisition and empowerment programs where I taught over 200 students how to make homemade liquid soap and Vaseline. Finally, I also renovated the NYC. I renovated a particular water supply area at the NYC orientation camp. Yeah, when I noticed the place was really bad, and so I renovated it. So these were the 5 projects I carried out during my service year, and it was massive. I decided to put my experiences together because during my service year I realized a lot of persons are passionate about making such impact, but they do not have an idea, or they do not have the right detail or information about how to go about it. I get a lot of persons. This project, like, it went viral. I remembered last year a lot of um a lot of platforms picked up the news, like Legit, My School, Nations newspaper, a lot of blogs carried the project, and so it made people it attracted a lot of persons to me. I got a lot of following that period. Up till now, a lot of persons still reach out to me asking about how to maximize their NYSC, like up till now, till date. So I decided that, I wouldn't be able to, I wouldn't keep answering all of those questions. Like, NYC, I'm now an ex-core member. I need to move on with my life. And so I decided to put all of my experiences together so that people can easily access And I didn't just put my experiences together, I also put relatable, real life experiences of other successful ex-core members together, including industry experts. I did not just write about my experience. There are solid backings of industry experts. One of them is the Director General of Katsina State Directorate of Information Communication Technology. He he added his inputs. And so I decided this is what inspired me to put this book together, to write this book, so that every core member, every prospective and serving core member would have all the information they need to make the best out of the service year.
Okay, sorry to for that distraction. So there are people that are watching and they are getting value from what you're saying. So I decided to spotlight them. So thank you, Ayomide. This is Art Talk with Mide, and it's trying to give you a recap of what you're saying, that it is not about what everyone is doing, but doing what you're called to do and doing it well. Great one, Ma. So she's actually enjoying everything you're sharing. So please go ahead with your thoughts.
Thank
Sorry
you
for
so
doing that
much.
to distract you. Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah, so you can land on your thought, please.
Oh yeah, so I decided to put my experiences together. Not just a passing year, is a powerful guide that challenges the common idea that NYSC is a waste of time.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much. Very comprehensive, and there's a lot to unpack from this. Great. So I quickly want to ask a follow-up question about that. Your humanitarian ability, your humanitarian drive, your humanitarian instinct, where do you get it from? Is it hereditary or is it something you find in yourself? Walk us through that. Because with all what you've said, I have a reason for saying that. For the first point, let me make it clear for those that are watching. We are all Nigerian. We are not being tribalistic. Where you carried out all those projects, it is not where you are born, or maybe you were born around the north, but this is not probably your state of origin. But you find yourself up north and you are able to pull all this together, not minding the fact that, all right, these are not, so to say, my direct king folks. And you are able to do all this. So there is a need for me to actually know where that instinct comes from. Is it something that you find inherent in your family line or something you learn along the line? Let's hear from you.
Thank you so much for that wonderful question. I would say I wouldn't say it's hereditary, even though my parents are also passionate about this, but I would say it's something that is personal. I'm personally passionate about reaching out to people, humanitarian services. Like, I'm passionate about touching lives, making impact. That's like a purpose for me. That's my purpose, to reach out to people, make impact. So I cannot say it's hereditary, even though I am from a very good background. I would say it's personal, is the gift of God upon my life to naturally care for people. And in carrying this out, I do not discriminate. I see humanity before religion. We are humans first before Christians, Muslims. We are humans. We are created by God.
I love that school of thought where human first before our religion. That's just so profound. And thank you so much for exhibiting that. And thank you for proving to Nigerians what is actually possible when we do away with our tribe, our creed, or religion. That's so great. So I would like you to share with us the opportunities that all these that you've done during your service here has opened for you. If you could walk us through some of this, because There's a quote that says, when you know what is in need for you, you will go the extra mile to get that thing done. So sometimes when people know what is in need for them, when people know that when they maximize their national sensitively, there's a lot of gain, there's a lot of opportunities in it. So walk us through the opportunities that you've benefited from all these community programs that you have done, and how others can also key into it.
All right. I really appreciate this question because I know a lot of persons will be eager to hear or to know the opportunities available when you do such. I would say a lot, a lot. Let me start by talking about the opportunities it opened for me personally. I'll start by saying it helped my mindset. It helped me realize if I can conceive, like whatever I can conceive is possible to achieve. If my mind can conceive it, I can achieve it. It's really worked on my mindset. Like I became more, like I saw possibilities of changing the world and doing better things. Yes. And one thing about all of this, when you try, it will stretch you, but you're growing. And of course, you tend to do better the next time and to boldly face bigger opportunities the next time. So that's one thing I'm really grateful for. It's really helped my mindset. It also helped me in it helped me in the aspect of influence. I gained influence. It's opened up better relationship I never saw coming. It's connected me with great great and high value individuals that naturally or normally I wouldn't have access to. I remember during my service year, the state coordinator was highly respected. Like she was highly respected. Everyone really, but like you do not even have access, like this free access to her on a normal day, except you have something really important to talk about. But with my community development service project, I, with the impact and the project I carried out, I got access to her. Like at some point, I was wondering this, like this lady that I couldn't even look at, like I couldn't even set my eyes properly on her because of the level of honor I had for her. Like it got to a point where we were sitting together to communicate, like we were into board meetings and all that, and I could communicate well with her. And so that's what such opportunities can open you up to. Beyond the NYSC state coordinator, it also gave me a good relationship with top NYSC officials. It's also connected me to a lot of persons because in the course of the project, when I was trying to source out funds, I went to see a lot of high value individuals and respected people like commissioners, permanent secretaries, executive secretaries. It gave me, I took it gave me the opportunity to have conversations with them, build relationship with them. This is what I couldn't, like this there are rooms, like it made me enter rooms I wouldn't have entered on a normal day. So that's about building relationship. Beyond all of these people, even up till now, when people hear about my work, like it has connected me to a lot of high value individuals. Like they are willing to associate with me. They a lot. So that's about um high value relationship and connections. It also helped me to personally, I learned management. I was able to learn how to manage people better. Yes, I was able to learn how to manage people better. I worked with a lot of persons. For the first time, I worked with very elderly people where I needed them to help me do one or two things for the success of my program. So it gave me this experience in managing people and also project management, which is an invaluable experience or skill. So okay, that's about my personal experience. Talking about the provision NYSC have made for such persons that distinguish themselves. Though I'm not saying everybody that does every single project must be awarded. They have their metrics. They have the way they evaluate and come up with the outstanding core members. But for people who performed really well, be you can be eligible to gain the to be recommended for the presidential award. There's also the state government award, there's NYSC state coordinators award, local government award. And so these are opportunities that one can get when you serve selflessly. So a lot, because of time, I wouldn't talk about others, but I tell you, there are lots of opportunities. And of course, if you're able to make it to the federal government level, you stand the chance of even gaining a scholarship. I remember one of my friend gained a scholarship outside the country to the UK, though not this year. 7 years ago, he's been out of the country due to the presidential award he got. You can stand the chance of having your master's and PhD program fully sponsored. Yes, scholarship. You can also get job recommendations and a lot. So there are lots of opportunities opened when you decide to
Okay, I think we're having issues with our connection, but I believe we'll be able to bring her back. But she has actually shared a lot that personally I'm still learning. And what stood out for me from all what she said was the ability to, you know, the profound effect that that project had on her, which is the change of the mindset. And I think that's the summation of everything for me, because I believe once you develop this mindset that whatever your mind can conceive, you can achieve, you're unstoppable. So I no wonder you're able to put all those projects together. And these are not projects of these are not projects of just say mean fit, so to say. They are capital projects that it requires huge capital, that requires a lot of resources, that requires a lot of coordination, that requires working with people from different walk of life. And you can hear no wonder you're a community manager. I think I'm a member of one of your community, and I can say that yes, you have cracked the code of actually building an engaging community. I was there when your book was launched. Even up to this morning, I see how people still respond to some of your messages in your community. So I give you your flowers. Thank you so much for all you do. So let's go to the next question now. Before the end of the program, I'm going to talk about how people can actually get your book. And for those of you that are watching, please don't worry. You can check the show notes or the description of this particular episode. I'm going to put a direct link on how you can actually get the book and also, learn from her. I know it has been said that if you actually want to become something and you see people that have become what you wish to become, the best thing is to move closer to them and learn from them. And sometimes as a result of you know, location and whatnot, you may be thinking, will I be able to connect to them? You can get their book. You know, when you get their book, they have dispensed their experience into it. So this is one of the valid reasons why you need to actually get useful books that can help you to grow. So let's talk about our topic also, rethinking success in a digital economy. What are the mistakes that you have found that a lot of people that are trying to make impact online are making, and how can they, you know, avoid some of these mistakes?
All right, thank you so much. Please, I want you to repeat the question again.
All right. So I said that if you look at the online space, everybody actually wants to make impact. Everybody actually wants to get connected to the creative economy. So what are the common mistakes that you have observed that up and coming creators are making, and how can such mistakes be avoided?
All right, thank you so much. That's an important question indeed. So, one of the major mistakes I've noticed many creators focus, I've noticed is that many creators focus much on aesthetics and algorithm instead of authenticity and value. They want to look perfect rather than connecting deeply with their audience. Another mistake is inconsistency. Showing up when you feel motivated, like, doesn't signify growth. Yes, growth happens when you stay consistent, even when engagement seems low. And I also see creators trying to do everything at once without clarity. You can't speak to everyone. You find your voice, your message, your people, and that's what's built through influence. So I would advise that the first point I raised is aesthetics, and like people focus so much on aesthetics and algorithm. They want to look perfect in their visual representation and everything. They focus more on the likes, the reactions. They are good, but as people who are beginning as creators trying to grow online, grow their online presence, you shouldn't focus so much on aesthetics and even algorithm. You try to be authentic, use what you have to start from where you are. By the time you continue, you will be able to look back and track your growth. Yes, your growth will amaze you, it will amaze your audience, and this is what builds trust. And so, about consistency, about inconsistency, like we need to, or creators rather, need to be really consistent. When you show up consistently, you make people to have your name on the forefront of their mind. Yes, whenever that problem or that particular niche is being mentioned, your name comes to their mind. That's because you show up consistently. So even when you feel less motivated, you still need to show up. It will really, really help you. The last point I made, trying to do everything at once without clarity, you try to niche down. That's what makes you unique and unforgettable. You niche down, you check what you are good at and the niche that aligns with your purpose, your strengths, something that motivates you, and then you niche down, you show up with clarity, and of course, that will really help you grow and attract the right people.
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you so much for that. So quickly, let's give shout out to some of the people that have dropped their thoughts here to actually let you also know that yeah, you're on point. So we have Oladapo James here. Say, I love your courage. Thank you so much, Oladapo James. Thank you for joining us. And also
Thank
Oladapo James
you.
is also saying here, well done, ma, more grace. And also we have had to talk with Nide, and she said we are human first before religion comes in. That's exactly what she said, and that's so profound and powerful. And also, we have another contributor here. Yes, if you can see it, you can achieve it. Thank you so much for all that you have shared with us. I just want you to also know that people are following and they are getting value from what you're saying. That is the power of value. I think the person was commenting when you're talking about, giving out selflessly. And also, Oladapo James seems to be a favorite commenter this week. All right. Thank you so much for your massive support, Oladapo James. I do appreciate your support. Thank you for all you do. So, your value makes you relevant no matter the situation. And that is it. When you give value, when you're a person of value, you will not be trampled upon. You will be sought after. That is great. So, my next question to you, Ruth, is the fact that you see, in the process of becoming, because you are an advocate of personal development, so how do creator stay consistent into investing in themselves? What can they do, or what must they do to ensure that in the process of building name from themselves, in the process of building something reasonable, they don't get lost in it, they also invest in themselves? How do you do it, and what recommendations do you have?
Balance is so important. I believe success without personal growth is short lived. Yes, it's possible to gain visibility and still feel empty if you are not growing. So,
We soon be short-lived. What a powerful word.
I would say apologies, it's like my network
Yeah, you are
fluctuated a
back
bit.
now. I think you are back now. Please go ahead.
Okay, though I don't know the last part you heard.
Okay, you are saying success without personal growth will soon be short-lived.
Okay, I said success, yes, success without personal growth is short lived.
Mm,
Yeah. So it's possible to gain visibility and still feel empty if you're not growing. Yes, if you're not growing internally. So for me, I would recommend building while you're becoming.
mm,
As you chase your goals, you don't have to neglect your mindset, your habits, your relationship,
mm,
talking about community, your relationship with people, your relationship with God, because those things are what will sustain you even when the results delay. So I always
mm,
remind myself that platforms and opportunities may elevate me, but character and growth will keep me there.
mm. Amazing.
So yes,
Yeah, platform and opportunity may elevate you, but what? But character. But character, we ensure that you remain on that platform. That's so profound. I want you to expand more on that, please. I want you to expand more on that. What do you mean by that, please?
okay, I think I said character and character and growth will keep you there, right?
Yes.
Like opportunities may elevate you, and but character and growth will keep you there.
Mm,
Okay, so anyone can have access to any opportunity, especially in the country we find ourselves, when you may have connections, you may have opportunities, or access to opportunities. But then what determines how long you would grow in that aspect or exploit the opportunities is your character. You need to have a positive character and mindset regarding what you're doing. And then you need to keep improving on yourself if you don't invest or upgrade yourself, you'll be outdated. You would be outdated. And when your employer gets someone better than you, they will relieve you of your duties. They will finally speak English. They'll speak a professional English to let you know that they appreciated your service in the past, which is when you were serving them. But you refuse to upgrade yourself, and so somehow you become outdated. So it's good to always strive to be better than you were yesterday. Again, I say opportunities may elevate you. Anyone can have access to opportunities, but your character and your ability to grow will keep you there. Have I answered your question?
You've answered it. That's fantastic, profound, and yeah, so apt, so apt. So we just have two questions before we wrap on today's episode of the Growth Code podcast. So let's talk about the future of the creator economy in Africa. What are your take? I want you to speak to Nigerians. What do young creators need to do to take their take or to actually become relevant in the creator economy? Because when you look at the creator economy in Africa, it's big, it's huge, with a lot of huge potential. So what would be your message to young creators out there?
Please, I need you to repeat the question.
All right, so I said I want us to talk about the future of uh, the creator economy in Africa. So what exactly do young creators need to do to key into this robust economy?
Okay, what young creators
Yes,
need to
needs to
do
do
to
to
key
become
into.
relevant. Yeah, to become relevant in the creator economy because of the opportunities that lie ahead in the future.
Okay, I would say young creators should embrace community. They should not seek to grow alone because community plays a huge role in growth. I've learned that no matter how talented or how skillful an individual is, you grow faster and even more sustainable when you're surrounded with the right people. So my advice to creators is to surround yourself with the right people, the right community. Don't try to do it alone. There's this, it's always good to work with people because as they help you to also exploit trends. You might not be current about the advances in the digital economy. You may not be well. You may not be very current, but when you have the right people around you, they tend to disclose the trend, and together you'll be motivated to go. You'll be more motivated to develop yourself, yes, to be better. And so I'll advise young people to surround yourself with the right people and also be current because we're in a fast-paced digital economy. So to be relevant, you need to have the right information. I don't know
Thank
if
you.
that
Thank you. Yeah,
answered your
that's
question.
okay. Yeah, that answers the question. However, the question is almost similar to the final question which I want to ask you. But regardless, you have actually say something that I consider very necessary because sometimes we want to be a lone ranger, and it is difficult to actually find a lone ranger because in this world, when you meet with people, when you belong to a community of people of like mind, so to say, it is easier for you to get your destination faster than actually working on your own, or working alone. And you know what happened to a lone wolf? It eventually become a prey. And I don't want people that are listening to become a prey of evil circumstances. So it is good for you to belong to a thriving community. So on a final note, I will just give you this. What message do you have for those that are watching? Creatives, entrepreneurs, uh, people of different cadre. What message do you have for them as we wrap on this podcast?
Thank you so much. My message for everyone watching is to take advantage of this digital economy. Yes, I believe so much that social media is one of the biggest equalizers for African youth today. It has given us access to information, visibilities, opportunity that previous generations did not have. The problem is a lot of persons see it as a place of or a place for entertainment, but the truth is from we can build a lot using social media, and we are so blessed in this age. I tell people there's a quote in my book, I guess chapter 8 of my book, that talks about digital skill, digital edge. I quoted the Director General of Katsina State Directorate, where he said, "You don't need to be in Lagos or London to matter. Innovation have no border." So we are so blessed. You can stay anywhere in the world and make impact. You can reach the world. So my advice once again is for every creator to take advantage of this digital age by leveraging social media. Be consistent. Make sure you don't forget your why. You don't forget why you decided to diversify, why you decided to pick your niche, even when nobody seems to be clapping, even when there's no applause. Stick and trust the journey. Continue, trust the process. A lot of persons we celebrate today, influencers, people making remarkable change. Some of them are not better than you. They have paid the due price. They have taken their time. If you see a lot of persons doing well, like they'll tell you, I started, like I was listening to an individual, an influencer yesterday during her birthday, and she said she has been on the social media street for over 14 years. And it will amaze you to know that a lot of persons did not know her then. Suddenly, she came to the limelight. That's how it is. There's always a time for you to be there's always a showing time. There's always a time that you would have the limelight. The sky is very wide. Every bird, there's no competition up there, so you freely fly. It's just, you need to just ask yourself, are you doing the right thing? Are you sticking to, are you following the process? Are you paying the due price that will pay off tomorrow? Thank you so much.
Thank you. As if we just started the session, or as if we just start another run, because you're just spewing value, premium value. So thank you so much for all you do. Thank you so much for the impact you're making. Thank you for the ones you've made, and thank you for the ones you will continue to make. On behalf of every one of us at Fash Media Concepts, the sole producer and promoter of this podcast, we wish you the very best in your future endeavor. And like I have said once again, that I'm going to put the details of your book in the show notes of this podcast so that people can actually buy. So as a way of our support, we're going to get your book by the grace of God. I will speak to you behind the scene. We're going to get your book, but I also want to give you the opportunity because I believe in the power of the internet. Just like you said right now, a great CEO can be listening to this and they can just want to get hundreds and thousands of copies of this book. Can you tell us 3 reasons why I need to buy a book? Just sell your book, give us 3 reasons why I need to buy your book. So convince people that are watching that whatever amount they you can tell us the price and tell us why I need to get a copy of your book.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate you mentioned if I'm going to get my book. I don't take it for granted. Thank you. And to everyone watching, briefly, 3 reasons why you should get my book. Number one, you should get my book because it's not about theory, it's a practical guide, a powerful practical guide. This is not about ChatGPT. This is not about, in fact, I made a post recently on Facebook that you shouldn't consult ChatGPT for maximizing your NYSC. You should read my book. ChatGPT did not wear, or let me say AI did not wear khaki, I did. So it's something I've done. I walked through the process, and I did not just walk through, but I came out successful. So this is the reason why you need to get my book. It's, as I said, it's a practical guide. And I mentioned earlier that my it's not just about my inputs. This is the second reason why you should get my book. It's not just about, like, I gave room for other successful ex-core members. So maybe perhaps if you can't relate with my own experience, which I'm sure you would, but you may want to listen to other persons. Of course, their names are available, everything, their stage, you can check for them on social media to know that they are real people. These are people I know. Yeah, so I also included the inputs of other successful ex-core members where I summarized their journey, which you can also relate with. Yes, there are many things to be done, and I just did some things. Other people achieved some other things. So if you can't relate with mine, you definitely will relate with theirs. So of course, you should get my book. I also added industry experts, as I mentioned earlier. Yes, I included industry experts, like the inputs of industry experts, the financial aspects. Of course, I studied medical biochemistry in school. I have knowledge, like, when it comes to finances, knowledgeable to an extent, but that's not my expertise. And so I invited a renowned accountant to share his professional take about that regard. The aspect of digital skill, if you listen closely, you would have heard me talk about, including the input of the Director General of Castina State Directorate of ICT. In fact, I was privileged to have him share the major part of that chapter 10, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he shared chapter 9. He shared a major part of that chapter. I also had the privilege of having a lot of persons endorse the book. Yes, this is the third reason. I had high value people endorse the book. A lot of NYSC officials. If you follow me closely on social media, you discover I post reviews from even NYSC officials. They have bought my book, they have read my book, and they have given premium and wonderful reviews about the book. So if an official can endorse an official in the scheme, if he can endorse the book, I don't see any reason why you shouldn't get the book. On a lighter note, I was also privileged to have the state coordinator of NYSC Castina, in person of Hajia Aisha Mohammed, the state coordinator when I was serving. Yes, she wrote the foreword of the book. So this is me saying this book had a lot of professional backing and endorsements. You can't afford not to read my book. Thank you so much, Mr. Michael.
Walking us through the reasons why we should key into what you've done so that we can maximize the phase that we are at the moment, because I believe it's not everybody that is actually in the face of NYSC at the moment. However, I believe investing in knowledge is not a waste investment. It's actually an investment that guaranteed multiple yield in the nearest future. So let me quickly read some of the comments we have here. Then we're going to call it a wrap. Thank you so much for your. So we have Ibukun Emmanuel. Thank you so much, Ibukun Emmanuel. She was validating what you were saying at the moment. I don't want to interrupt what you were saying. And we also have our most active participant for today. Drum roll. Oladapo James, thank you so much for your contribution. And she is asking a question. She said, please, ma, do you, I think it was asking, do you hold social media managing class? And we also have a follow-up message here that he is a social media manager, but I think I need to level up and connect with more people for me to stay relevant. All right, I think it's actually asking for connection. Yes, great. And that's it. I think we have wrapped. This is just like an after event something. So how do people connect with you? Great. This is another thing you're going to do for me. Please share all your social media handles with me so that in the show notes also I can put it there and people can connect with you directly. Also, however, I would like you to also mention it out, call it out, tell us your handle so that people can follow your work for what you do. So to answer his question and for the social media class, please, it's over to you.
Thank you once again, Mr. Michael. I'm a social media manager, but I think I need to level up and connect with more people for me to stay relevant. I guess he is the same person that asked if I hold social media management class. For now, I don't hold a class. Like, I'm not holding social media management classes for now, but eventually I would do that as time be as while I go forward. Yes, I would organize such classes. So I would say you connect to me so that when the opportunity comes, it will be a wonderful opportunity. It will be a good time to jump in. And so
Right.
it's
So your
nice
handles,
meeting and connecting with
your
you.
handles. Mention your handles. How can they connect with you? Your handles. You can mention it on Instagram, on Facebook, TikTok, and all the platforms that you are on.
Okay, I'm on Facebook and I'm Roots Ejindu. I don't know if you can see the name, the name I used to join this call, Roots Ejindu. I don't know if it's visible for everyone to see. That's my name on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and Instagram. Yes, you can connect with me on these three social media platforms: Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. And then my WhatsApp contacts is also available if you need it. You can just reach out to Mr. Michael, he would give you.
Okay, thank you so much, Ruth A. Jindu Isioma. Thank you so much for your time on the podcast. We enjoy every bit of what you shared with us, and we believe that those that have joined us and those that will be watching this video subsequently, we have something valuable to hold on to. Like I said, we wish you the very best in all your endeavor. Thank you so much for honoring our call, and we look forward to more partnership with you in the nearest future. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your support. Thank you to Oladapo James. You are our most valuable person for today. You are very active, and I want to call on meaningful individual out there that we are open to collaboration, we are open to partnership. Should you have anyone that have interesting story, you want us to spotlight their journey, kindly reach out to us. We can actually bring them on our podcast for them to share their story. And also, this is also to my guest Ruth, you're still hearing. If you have well-meaning people in your network, I will be in your DM. I can actually schedule them for the rest of November, and because I believe it's our work or it's our responsibility to keep sharing positive news out there, because there are a lot of negativity that is affecting people's life negatively. And if we that have good stories and positive stories do not share them, that means we'll allow evil to thrive. And on that note, we've come to the end of our program for today. My name is Fashmo Michael Olaito, and this is the Growth Code podcast brought to you by Fash Media Concept. Until I come your way next week, remember, you should be a man of value. And if your mind can conceive it, you can achieve it. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.
Thank you for having me. Have a wonderful day. Bye.